Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 16th through the 23rd, and during that time, we do have a new moon that comes in on the 17th, and that's a time for a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to learn a new skill or start any new projects, but be they inner or outer, that you might want to work on, or to make some new decisions. Also, we then have the waxing crescent for the rest of the week, and that's just a time of heightened senses. It's a good time for us to start to work on those things that we've just started and really just live up to our expectations and our intentions. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, Virgo, is the answers you need are coming. All right, let's see what the Virgo Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you do take the time to learn something new. That definitely goes along with the moon energy that we've got going on. And what I mean by that is to really do a deep dive into something. Sometimes I feel like I'm learning new things every day, but for me to really do a deep dive, I kind of have to set aside time or, find a book on that topic or find a lecture that I want to watch or a class I want to take. So, and that's what I mean is kind of do the work to do the really, really deep dive on the thing, but learn something new this week. It's just something as adults that we kind of forget to do sometimes. So, all right, let's keep that in mind. Let's go through here and get this reading going. Virgo, May 16th through the 23rd. The answers you need are coming. And your overall present energy right now is the Hierophant. So you may be on some sort of spiritual quest right now. The Hierophant is definitely a card about guidance. It's about seeking guidance, seeking guidance from someone who might know a little bit more than you. And I was talking about learning something new. It could be you might be seeking guidance from a tarot reading today, and that's why you've tuned in to me. So thank you very much for doing that. We can see what your cards say, but it looks like if you're asking some kind of questions, that's the way that you get information. So keep asking those questions of the universe, and then just be patient and really follow the signs. The universe has a way of sending us little signals and message. I often talk about synchronicities on this channel, and that is a huge part of just amazing things that happen. And you're like, there's no way that could be possible. Synchronistic things. So pay attention to those kind of signs from the universe. This could be numbers that you're seeing, situations that happen, a word that you hear, something that comes on the radio, those kind of things. So, but seeking information from people that you feel have more knowledge than you, and you can take that with a grain of salt also. You may tune into this tarot reading and think, oh, that's a bunch of crap, so it might not resonate, and that's okay. It will with some people and it won't with others. So, and that's where we're all kind of looking for that truth is what is the thing that's like, oh, it's almost like a little bell that goes off in your head. You're like, ding, ding, ding. Oh, that's definitely resonating. That feels true, right? Your current situation right now is the King of Swords. So, you might be having this fight with yourself about logic and something that you can't explain. And that's the situation for a lot of people. The King of Swords is like our Mr. Spock of the deck. So I want you to imagine that Spock has an experience like a glitch in the matrix experience or a paranormal experience or a religious experience. And how is Spock is really going to start asking questions to be able to explain that. He may never get to the answer. He may. But it's like someone who's very, very logical trying to describe those things as they happen. So that's a battle. And I understand that but again, the answers you need are coming. So keep seeking. All right. At the root of this situation is the Three of Cups. So, this could have been something that was said during some sort of celebration with friends. It could be that there's something going on within your friend group or your family group that's, the Three of Cups is really about being joyful and having community around you. But if there's something that's maybe making you question that or something that happened within that community that can really kind of rock your world. So that seems to be at the root in your recent past here is that you've already been maybe a little bit disappointed with what the universe was offering you. And that can happen too. Sometimes when you're a little bit down and you just start to notice things, you just start to think, well, why, or asking those questions, why Why am I not happy about what the universe is giving me? Well, asking that deep question can definitely lead to seeking. And again, sometimes it counters your logic. There might be some seeking that says one thing, but it just goes against everything that you've been up until this point. So sometimes making those small adjustments, those small changes in your life, and that's where we're at this week with the new moon. You make these small little adjustments and changes and see how it works. And if it doesn't work, you adjust back and do what you were doing before, and you try to make a change in another part of your life. So keep that in mind. What changes can you make that are small? It doesn't have to be huge changes. What is on your mind this week is the Five of Swords here. So this might have been some sort of words exchanged. It might have been, and again, it's something that maybe has just hit you, words exchanged that make you think about things in a little bit of a different way and make you start questioning things. Again, I was saying that this may have been something that happened in your community, might be something you're observing. It might also be something that you were directly involved in, but it seems like there's been kind of an exchange of words and it made you kind of question things. Maybe you're seeing the light on something or finding some sort of truth. I wouldn't be surprised to see, maybe the justice card show up, in this reading, or actually the judgment card also. And perhaps even the hanged man. Like you're looking at things from a new perspective. I'm already feeling that without even seeing those cards. Okay, what is just ahead of you is the Four of Swords. So now we've got two fours on the table. And I was talking about watching those synchronicities. 44 is a pretty big one for a spiritual awakening. I know this from personal experience. So look up angel number 44, see what that means for you. And if you're seeing that number over and over, pay attention and learn what that message means. But check that out. So, but anyway, just ahead of you this week is some rest and meditation and some thinking about things. So you might be chewing through all of this information here and taking it and just kind of sitting quietly with it, which is what you have to do. You have to really think, if you're finding a way to do, um, if you are someone who meditates, then that's a good thing. If it's hard for you to do, being in nature, just go out and feed some birds and give yourself an hour or two to just kind of be with nature. Take a walk in a wooded place. Find a nice sunny spot where there's some water, and just let yourself meditate in that way with nature. All right, and your advice position here is the Ace of Pentacles. So, whatever this is that you're going through, the advice is to really kind of accept the things that are happening really in the material world around you. Again, if you're observing things, you might be observing, numbers might be coming up, you might be seeing conversations, there might just be some little, you know, just something happen. It's changed your perspective a little bit so that you're seeing things, but you're seeing things in the physical world. Like these 44s on this table are physical world, right? The 44 on the license plate that you just saw that's the physical world. So, the spiritual world does interact with the physical world. And again, if you're watching those signs, watching for those synchronicities, it's pretty eye-opening. So pay attention to those things. What is beyond your control this week is the Knight of Pentacles. So action in the physical world and action about maybe those things. So, many times this can um, denote that you're taking some sort of action with money. Ace of Pentacles is typically about a new financial opportunity and then taking action with it, which it very well could be. This could coincide with all of it, but I'm almost here, because of the rest of the reading, getting the sense that this is about you seeing things in the physical world. And it's almost like, again, it's like a glitch in the matrix. And if you see them, you see them. It's very hard to explain to others. Um, but I get you. I feel you. I've seen these things myself. So, and it is an awakening, and it's just a layer. I talk about an awakening isn't a one-time thing. It's something that's kind of like the layers of an onion. You have these awakenings, and then you kind of level up to the next thing, and the next thing opens up to you, and you're like, what, has that been there the whole time? So I feel like that might be what's kind of happening for you right now, Virgo. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Two of Cups here. So is it your secret desire to maybe open up to a friend or someone that you're close to, friend, family member, um, about what's going on here? Or are you trying to avoid that? There's no right or wrong answer here. Different Virgos will choose this differently. You may want to share this with a friend. You may want to keep this quiet and not share it with a friend. The question for you is to answer that question and then understand the why. Like, yes, I want to share because of this reason. No, I don't want to share because of this reason. And understand why you would choose either or, because that is your that's a big question for you this week. In your outcome, Virgo, is the Eight of Cups. So lots of cups showing up in this reading. Eight of Cups is about moving calmly and seeking in your future. So you've got some support at your back, which could be this friend, it could be this group here. You've got some support as you seek out and go find something. It's like you're on the quest there for something bigger than yourself, and something bigger than is whatever is right now representing itself in your life. So I think that's pretty awesome. I love any reading that has to do with some sort of spiritual awakening. I just think it's a fascinating part of life, and it's something that you need to focus on. Some do, some don't. So it's something that takes up a lot of time in my own life, my own personal life. So it's just a topic that's very close to my heart, that you would level up and learn new things. So love that for you. What is hidden from you this week, Virgo? The Lover's card. Okay, which I kind of see as another two. So you might also want to look up angel number two too. I know it's not a two, but because there's two people in the card, it's just kind of reminds me too of the Two of Cups there. But that is kind of hidden from you. So it might not be something that you're sharing maybe with your romantic partner at this time. It's just kind of hidden from you that you're having these, and it might be that they're just not open to it. They may be just as logical as you are, and you're like, I really don't want to tell them that. They're really going to think I'm crazy if I tell them that I've been seeing the number 44 everywhere. My partner's very logical, and I told him, and he was, that's very interesting. So, um, share that information. That's kind of hidden from you to maybe want to be open in that way. And because sometimes these things happen, and it's like you want to find kind of a normal touchstone. It's like, is this happening to other people? So maybe not your spouse is who you want to check with. Again, it might be this friend here. So that'll be a big question for you. So who are you sharing this information with, and why? Or why not? All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Virgo as they seek out the answers to these questions, which the answers are coming. The card says, be patient. That's very interesting because, yeah, during a more recent awakening of mine, this was probably years ago at this point, but there is a song. I'm really into the band Tool, and there is a song called "The Patient," which is about being patient, and it's their music is very very interesting lyrically. So might be a song you want to check out if you're not a fan of that band. So, but being patient is the thing. Be patient. The answers you need are coming. It goes right with your overall here. What do you need to do in the way of self-care, Virgo? Self-care for you this week is, the card says, listen. I don't think I've ever seen this card. And let me say again, two people on this card also as well. Lots of other people showing up. Whatever's going on, I feel like you are communicating, you are having these conversations. People start to heal the moment they feel heard. So maybe you need to be heard, and you're going to heal from, again, whatever, some sort of exchange or something was going on that you weren't super thrilled about. It also could mean that you have a friend that also needs that ear, so that you can be patient, and also be there for that friend of yours. Be there for each other. That's always a nice thing, right? So, Virgo, I wish you the best of luck with this information. I hope that there's something in this reading that is resonating with you, and you can use in a positive way in your life this week. If that's the case, please drop me a comment down below if you're comfortable sharing, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe really helps me. So thank you so much in advance for doing that. And if you've already done that, thank you so much again. And it helps you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see where your story goes. So thanks so much, Virgo. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.